Hey guys, glad I'm updating on time this week. Albeit very late in the evening. It's the big 6 months. Time flies, especially when you're not paying attention. Yesterday was my 6 month on the 6th, and I don't think I could be any happier with everything that's happened so far, even though things are going by at a slow pace for certain things, but I know as time goes on, things will progress. I just have to be patient and wait. For my little 6 month uh, video, I figured I would kind of do an altogether everything that's kind of at least happened to me and things to look out for while you're going through those first 6 months. And for once, I became prepared and I made a list of things. First thing that's definitely going to happen to you in this first at least month or so is breaking out. And you're not just going to break out on your face. You're pretty much going to break out everywhere. You have hair that's starting to grow that's never been there before. And of course, your body's reaction is it's going to break out. It's definitely going to happen, along your jawline and face. It's going to happen on your shoulders, your arms. It's going to happen everywhere. So definitely, if you're about to start hormones, I recommend getting like a really good face wash, a really good body wash. Make sure you try keeping as clean as possible. Also, if your doctor's privy enough for you, like I said, I was unfortunate to get hit with the ugly stick during puberty the first time around, which I told my doctor that I was concerned about, and he prescribed me erythromycin benzyl gel. It's just a little uh, they make it in the store. I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, but they make it in there and grind it up, and it's this little like white gel stuff. I don't know if you can see it, probably just the high contrast of my camera, and it's something that you apply 2 times a day on the affected areas for your face. I haven't tried anywhere on my body, and it's helped tremendously keep everything calm and tame. It's a matter of just keeping up with cleanliness and body, just because not only is your body going through so much, like even your pH balance on things will even make you smell more, which goes into my next thing is carry extra deodorant. You are going to end up just being so much more smelly than you could ever anticipate it for even beforehand. So especially if you're very prone to sweating or stress sweat or anything, just carry extra deodorant. Like I said, always keep clean. Those things are going to help you so much. Or even body spray, but that extra deodorant will save your life. Next thing on my list, which I have off to the side, clean wipes. Now, when I say clean wipes, I talk about the type of wipes that you want to keep your vaginal area clean. Because one thing that you will notice off the bat is not just your natural body odor is going to change, but even just your natural smell, especially from downstairs. So, two things you can do is get just those cleaning wipes, like things just to keep you clean and everything down there. Especially if you're very self-conscious about having a new, more pungent smell coming from you. If anything else, they do have pH balance washes that are strictly made for your vagina. You have one, you gotta take care of it. At least until if and when you do decide to have any kind of bottom surgery. So you have those two options to help keep you smelling clean and appearing clean, because it's just going to go all over the place, especially in those first couple months. Next thing is vitamins. One thing I know is that I've always been really bad at keeping a good balance of vitamins and everything in my system, especially because before having taken testosterone, I was a little anemic, which after the first month when I stopped bleeding, having that extra blood in my body helped a decent amount. But I like taking daily vitamins, just so I know that my body's getting enough of what it needs. Because you're a growing boy, you're gonna have to make sure you keep up with what all the stuff your body needs. Especially if you're younger, you might even grow. I'm old, so that's not gonna happen. Maybe. Also, one thing that you're gonna need to do is that as a man, you need extra protein in your body. Your doctor will probably tell you this, especially if you want to end up working out and getting into better shape. You're gonna need to start taking a lot more protein. Now you can do this naturally just by eating a lot more red meats, which has also natural hormones in them to keep everything going in a forward momentum. Or you can go out and get different kinds of protein shakes. They can also be meal replacements, especially if you're going hardcore, just gym dieting and stuff. And make sure you do look up the right kind of. 'Cause I'm no expert when it comes to protein shakes and any kind of protein powders or whey powder. Make sure you do a decent amount of research so you make sure that you're not spending up the asshole for something that's not going to work. Make sure you find something that's really accredited, that's well priced, and that works. Um, Also, your voice is going to be changing, obviously. Sometimes it's going to happen a lot faster, like with myself, or sometimes it takes a little longer, but you will notice, especially if you go back and watch my older videos, pretty much that first video I have, which I was at my 1 month part, I'm coughing and you feel like you're congested all the time because your voice is starting to drop and go through the changes, so it's almost like you feel like you might almost be getting a chest cold. But once it happens, like you're gonna be squeaky, you're gonna be like just all over the place. And there's a couple things you can do. You can look up voice trainers. They have voice trainers not just for trans women, but also trans men to get used to your new voice as it's changing. But it's gonna be probably changing almost. Technically, men's voices change pretty much for the rest of their lives. It's always slowly in a dropping rate. Or you can just kind of wait it out and see where your voice kind of peters off and gets at a decent level, and just kind of work on it yourself. Especially with me having a background in singing and music, it's something that I've been slowly not trying to push myself with, so I don't strain and hurt my voice at all. But that's some options that you can do. Next thing, two things that I feel like I've talked about maybe a little bit is that your clothes and shoes may not fit as well anymore. Your feet are going to grow. That's something I didn't even expect, but I have noticed that some of my shoes or certain things that I wear are a little bit more snug than they used to be, and your feet will grow. Not like a tremendous amount, but you might grow like a half a size. I mean, hell, maybe if you're younger, you might even grow bigger, but be prepared for that. Also, clothes. Not just your pants, but your shirts. Because your body's getting bulkier and starting to be more, lack of a better term, man-shaped. So one thing is that I was building so much muscle, but not quite burning the fat off. And even with my hips tapering in, like your pants kind of get a little snug in this awkward stage. And my shirts, like shirts that never quite fit me very well, fit me really well now. I've always been kind of tall and lean. Mediums fit me almost too well, but larges kind of hung on me a little more loosely. Well, now large clothing, large shirts fit me really, really well, and it's just because I've broadened and bulked out, and I mean even just with my arms. So also be prepared for that. You might have to go shopping if you don't already kind of buy a little bit big on yourself. And last thing I guess I can kind of talk about is hair growth. Now, obviously, not just facial hair growth, but body hair growth. With me being blonde, I haven't experienced a whole lot of it. Mostly just on my legs and a little bit on my stomach. That's just gonna come, and you're just gonna get furry pretty much everywhere. I mean, your pubic hair is gonna start spreading down your legs. Your leg hair is gonna get darker from the ankle, working its way up. Like my thighs are still kind of bare, but it's slowly growing in. My arm hair hasn't got really darker, or my hands or anything like that, but that could be something that happens later. Like I said, my stomach's starting to grow a little bit more up and then down. I don't have any kind of chest hair yet. I guess maybe my armpit hair's gotten a little bit thicker, but I've always had a decent amount of armpit hair. Um, my brows haven't gotten that much thicker. That could just be something that happens later for me, especially because I'm not having really fast growth of the facial kind of hair. And I have read that some people do experience getting thicker hair on the top of their head, especially if their family doesn't have male pattern baldness or anything in it. But do watch out, especially if you have hair loss in your family, male pattern baldness in your family. That is something that is a high probability to happen to you. Look at both sides of your family, the males in them. Ask your family if they're comfortable with you talking to them about that kind of stuff. There are things you can do to prevent that. I personally haven't really looked up them too much in detail since I'm very fortunate that I don't have to worry about that too much. Granted that I probably will eventually have hair thinning. It just happens with age. Um, and that's all I guess I really have to talk about, I guess, for the past 6 months that I've really noticed. And to prep you guys for, because I definitely say like a lot of things will happen super fast in those 6 months, whether you realize it or not. Like I said, for me, mostly it was my voice and my body changing. The hair is more probably something's gonna happen. I probably won't get slapped with the hairiness until like a year in. It's just something that's genetically, you're going through puberty. It doesn't matter what age you are, you're going through puberty. Maybe if you're younger, it's gonna happen a little better, or just genetics, and so let it come as it comes. Like I've read people trying to use all this like different kinds of just take your time, be patient. Things will happen. I definitely say after a year and a half, if you're not seeing the kind of results you want, then maybe look into something. But let things kind of happen naturally that first year or so. Just because you don't know if all of a sudden, you don't want to spend all that, $30, $40 on gels and stuff to try making your hair grow or extra vitamins just for something that's going to occur naturally with you. Just give it time. Even there's some cisgendered men that even through puberty and stuff, they can't even grow a mustache until they're in their late 20s. Just give it time. And I guess that's all I have to talk about for this update. But like I said, thanks again for those who watch. I am very excited to be going on my journey with you 6 months in or not. Hopefully, I'll have something even more substantial and amazing to show you in 1 year. So, you guys have a good night. I will talk to you next week.